Happy holidays. We've got Lucy Greer in our kitchen this morning on Studio 10. It's not the holiday season without cornbread dressing.
That's absolutely right. And you and I were talking, it's something that you love and it's something that I don't really care for. So I decided I've got to figure out how to like this dish. Everyone just goes on and on about cornbread dressing.
Right. Well, I think it's just a staple for the holiday season, but you've already got some ingredients on our table this morning that are very different than what I've ever had.
Okay, so I feel like that my secret to anything is put sausage in it and then it'll be good.
Sure.
So, and this is, I say it every week, but I only like to bring things that are simple because that way people can, can really feel like they can do it at home and it doesn't take a lot of ingredients to make something taste good, and there's always shortcuts that you can use. So the first shortcut today is we sell these little pans of cornbread in our stores, so you can absolutely make your own cornbread. I don't find it necessary, nor do I want to do that. No. So you can absolutely make your own cornbread, but I'm just using this little one, and this is about, and I just cubed it up. So, and it's about 4 cups. It would just be one recipe of dressing, cornbread if you were gonna make your own. So I just cubed it up and I have the oven on at 350. So we are going to put this in the oven for about 10 minutes and just let it brown up a little bit and dry out a little bit.
Okay.
So we're gonna pop that in just a minute, and then in this pot is the sausage I mentioned. So I just have 1 pound. I just got the roll breakfast sausage, but you can use Italian sausage. You can use whatever kind that you like. So I just have it go, and this is over medium heat, and I'm gonna add our veggies to it. So I have 1 green bell pepper, 1 sweet onion, and a couple ribs of celery that I just chopped up. So I'm gonna let this cook down with the sausage, and this is gonna cook for about 10 minutes. We want, of course, the sausage to be not pink anymore, and want these veggies to soften up.
Yummy. So we're going to continue to work on this, and I am going to try a bite.
Ooh, okay, go for it.
Joe's going to do the second too. I wanted to ask you though, it's the holiday season, so hours at your local Greer's, wherever that may be, may change a little bit this season.
Yeah, that we always are open on Thanksgiving Day until 1 o'clock, so that way our customers, have an opportunity to shop, and also our team members can have time with their family, and we're closed on Christmas. Okay. So that is it through the holidays, and we're open on New Year's Day.
She's done it again, folks.
You like it?
She's done it again. So my mom makes the dressing at her home. She makes it completely homemade, the homemade cornbread, everything, and it's too intimidating for me. And I've never had it with the sausage, and that is a beautiful addition.
Yay, I'm glad that you like it. Yeah, my grandfather was the cook, and he has this long cornbread dressing recipe, and my brother-in-law usually makes it so my mom can have it, but I just don't want to do that. I just gotta be fast, I gotta be quick, I gotta get other things done. So this is a quick one.
So good. Well, you can find this recipe on fox10tv.com. You have got to make this holiday season. We'll have more coming up with Joe and Lucy next on Studio 10.
Welcome back into our Studio 10 kitchen. We're making a dish that Chelsea and I are excited about, and Lucy has grown to be excited about it.
Yeah, that's right. We are making cornbread dressing today.
Nice.
And we have already gotten started. So we are taking a couple shortcuts. So I just bought a pan of cornbread that we sell at our stores. It's about 4 cups or so, so it would just be, 1 recipe of cornbread if you were gonna make it. So I cubed that up. We have that in the oven at 350. We're just letting that toast up for about 10 minutes. And then we also have 1 pound of sausage in here. I just am using breakfast sausage, but you could use Italian sausage, sweet, hot, whatever your family likes. And then I added a green bell pepper, a couple ribs of celery, and a small onion. So we're just gonna let that keep cooking because those vegetables aren't really soft enough yet. So now we are going to kind of get started with some other things while those things are cooking, and I'm using, you see this all year round, but this is kind of the time of year that people really make dressing. So this is just the Pepperidge Farm. There's a couple of varieties out there. I'm just using the herb one. And the breadcrumbs in here are already, kind of small. There is one that's cubed, and you could certainly use that one too.
Sure.
If you like. And I have a couple eggs. I'm just gonna, Chelsea thought these were hard-boiled. So my grandfather put hard-boiled eggs in his, and so her family does too.
Really?
I was like, oh, sorry, these are just eggs. So, you know, this is a good base recipe. You know, you could always add other things, but this one is super simple. But of course, whenever you're cooking, you can just make everything your own.
Sure, and when you add the eggs to that and the chicken broth to it, you're softening up that mixture, and it will continue to soften when you cook it as well.
Absolutely, and that's the other thing. I feel like sometimes, you know, dressing can be a little dry. So this one, it stayed very moist. I cooked that off this morning, and when I dished it up, it still has so much moisture in it. So this is 4 cups of chicken broth, and I'm also going to add half a cup of water. So again, we just want to make sure there's enough moisture in there. And I'm just going to go ahead and add a few seasonings too. So I have salt, pepper, and I have some dried thyme and some dried sage. You could use either the sage that's ground, or it'll say rubbed sage on there. Either one is totally fine. So we have all this going, and then all we're gonna have to do is add our cornbread and add this when it gets all done cooking.
All right, so if you're looking for a last-minute recipe here for your Thanksgiving celebrations, this is a fantastic one for a delicious side dish. Like Lucy says, all you need to do is add sausage to anything, and it's gonna be delicious. So there you go. We're gonna continue to work on this process here on Studio 10, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. We are just a day away, but there's still time if you haven't decided on your full menu to incorporate what Lucy's making today.
Yes, we're making cornbread dressing today, and we're at the end. So we already toasted up our cornbread just about 10 or 15 minutes at 350, so it has a little bit of color on it, and it started to dry out a little bit. Over here we have our sausage and bell pepper and onion and celery, and that's all cooked down and ready to go. And then in the center, we added 1 bag of the stuffing. I just used the Pepperidge Farm one, the herb stuffing. And I added a couple eggs, and we added the 4 cups of chicken broth and half a cup of water and our seasonings, which was a salt and pepper and dried thyme and the sage. So now we're just gonna incorporate all this together. And the great thing about this, I mean, I know we're kind of at the end, but if you're making plans for Christmas, dressing really does a great job in the freezer. So you could get it to this point, and I have you know, an aluminum pan, and this, you just wrap it up and then put it in the freezer, and then it is just ready to pull out. So if you are getting ahead for anything else, this is a good one. And the good thing about this is too, you know, during Thanksgiving or any holiday, it's like you're pressed for oven space.
Yes.
So absolutely. A lot of this was done on the stovetop, and it can be made ahead, and it doesn't take too long to cook in the oven. So once this is done, it's just going to take about 40 minutes to cook. And the best size pan for this is kind of like a 9x9 baking dish, but of course this recipe doubles easily, triples easily depending on your size crowd. So I just sprayed that pan, and the cornbread, you know, is going to break up a little bit, but I like to do those big cubes so it kind of holds some of that texture and it's not all complete, you know, soft.
So if people are trying to do their last minute Thanksgiving shopping, still some time, right?
Yes, there is still some time. We are open all day today, Wednesday, and tomorrow on Thanksgiving we are open until 1 o'clock.
Okay.
So people can run out and get anything that they missed, and then our team still has plenty of time to enjoy their families.
That's great. Well, take a look at this. It looks absolutely fantastic. Definitely something you're going to want to try out if you have time for tomorrow. Great. If not, like you said, Christmas just around the corner too. So a fantastic option for that. Lucy, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Happy Thanksgiving.
For sure.
Thank you.
All right, great recipe. You can find it online.